Our greatest dread has always been the knowledge of our own mortality. But tonight, we shall hurl the gauntlet of science into the frightful face of death itself. Tonight, we shall ascend into the heavens. We shall mock the earthquake. We shall command the thunders and penetrate into the very womb of impervious nature herself.
She's alive! 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 Alive!
I can't believe we got put into a menagerie.
So this guy collects living beings?
Yeah, you know, like commemorative plates, but less off-putting. You'll get it when you're still actively dating in your 40s.
Assess this with cold indifference, you veiny-headed prick!
I finally finished it. I finally finished the masterpiece. It took forever to get this all together, man. Now let me show you the specs. See, now I don't know anything about computers. I didn't know nothing about all of this gizmo stuff when I started out. Like, we have technology. But once I got into the build, I locked in because this computer over here stopped working. This baby right here no longer is with us. From 2017 to 2024, and I was done. Rest in peace, Nitro. But this right here, you know what I mean? We got the specs in this. Got me feeling like I'm Jimmy Neutron.
To the stars, you'll buy candy bars, rides a kid with a knack for invention.
Now let me give you a little walkthrough. We got the flux capacitor fluxing. We got the quantum resonator resonating. And we got, of course, your plutonium. Nah, but for real, no funny, this computer is smooth and buttery. Now I could do edits like this. Yes, sir, we're back. It's been a minute since I posted. Not because I didn't want to, it's because I couldn't. Like, my laptop was just out of service. And it took a minute for me to like build this behemoth behind me. So yeah, like, my apologies. But we're back. I hope you guys been enjoying your process. I hope you guys been enjoying the life journey that we're on. Now, if you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thank you for gracing me with your attention. What I like to do here is I like to study things that are far beyond my grasp of comprehension. I consider myself a student of life. Okay, I like to learn. As a student of life, I understand that there are things that I don't know and there are things that I know. And in order for me to find the things that I don't know, I must journey into the unknown. And now let's pick up where we left off. In the last video, I talked about psyopses, where there are agents of chaos out here that prey upon the weakness of people's psyche, right? They prey upon their weakness of emotional control, where they put them in a reactionary state. But there was a statement that I made inside that video that I don't stand behind anymore because it didn't properly vocalize the idea that I was trying to get across. Self-improvement is the peak of human existence. To improve oneself past their limits, where you have autonomy over your life and you have autonomy over your destiny and where you're going and where you're heading. See, I made a mistake saying that self-improvement is the epitome of existence. No, it's not, bro. It's not. What I meant to say was character development is the best thing that you can be doing with your existence, because developing your character puts you in better positions in life. Now, I've realized that the word the phrase self-improvement means different things to different people, right? Different people come from different backgrounds of life that interacted with that phrase, and they have a negative connotation to that whole ordeal because they think it's all about, you gotta keep being better than the next person. And then, you know, that's not what I'm trying to teach here. I'm not trying to say that that's what life is all about. So I misspoke in saying those words. What I meant to say was character development, because through character development, there are ups and there's downs, right? Life comes with ups and downs. And developing your character through the storyline, staying conscious of yourself, staying aware of yourself as you are going through the story of life, develops your character. Because you see, what I've come to find out is that most people, or a lot of people in my community that I've grew up in, the culture of people that I've been around, right? They don't really reflect on life. They don't reflect on anything that's happening to them. They just keep recycling themselves, or they keep doing the same things over and over and expecting something else to happen. Reason why I think they're repeating themselves is because they're refusing to learn. They're refusing to step outside the boundaries of what they already know. And what you already know, you won't do anything different because you're only doing the same patterns of what you already, you know what I'm saying? Now, in order for us to learn, it requires an evolutionary process. And believe it or not, there are people that don't believe in evolution. And I'm not talking about the Darwin monkey theory. I'm talking about just growth in general. There's people that don't believe in growth.
I don't understand evolution, and I have to protect my kids from understanding it. We will not give in to the thinkers.
Now, the Buddha had an interesting take on this phenomenon. He said how most people are compelled by their desires, their insatiable desires, that inevitably leads to suffering and pain, but they have no choice in partaking in the action that leads to said suffering because they're constantly desiring things that's out of their reach. That you ever heard the phrase that people want what they can't have a lot of times, and then when they finally get it, they, the nuance of getting that thing wears off and they're like, okay, I want the next new shiny thing. And this is what the Buddha was saying. He said how the very nature of desire is to lack, is to thirst, is to want, is to chase. And when I learned about this, it really put everything in perspective for things here in the West, in America. This is a culture that's really built on that. It's built on desires. It's built on unquenchable desires, unsatiable desires that only lead to self-destruction. A good example of this, there was a brain surgeon on YouTube that made videos hiking in the mountains and stuff, right? And he said how he quit his job. He quit being a doctor. He quit all of that because he felt as if he was partaking in a system or a culture that doesn't actually help the people that they're serving.
So I went into neurosurgery training. I got in. I spent 6 years learning how to do brain surgery. I was doing the surgeries that I learned how to do. I was trying to help people. But these surgeries, they weren't fixing the problem. They would help some people feel better. Some people would feel the same. Some people would be worse. That all weighed really heavy because I thought I was going to relieve suffering. And I did relieve some suffering. But I saw so much more suffering that I couldn't relieve. A physician assistant that I worked with, he made a good analogy that the surgeries we're doing is like this. It's like you have a house and the roof, top of your house, has a leak somewhere, and rain water is coming down into the house and it's ruining the drywall, and you can see it. You can see water damage. The surgeries that I could do were like going into that house, tearing down that drywall, ripping out the moldy insulation, putting in brand new insulation, and rebuilding the wall, but not fixing the leak in the roof. I could do a perfect surgery, and some people would get better. Some people would stay the same. Some people would get worse, even though I did the exact same perfect surgery. And some people would get better before I could operate on them. It's like, oh, I know what's going on. Wait, to actually heal, you need to eat a certain way, not be stressed out, have a good social network, exercise, move your body, stretch. If you do all those things, you heal. That actually became a huge problem. It's a problem because our medical system isn't set up this way. Problem there is that if you figure out a way to help patients heal, and that way doesn't include a pill or a surgery, then the hospital and the doctor are in big trouble. Because if you figure out a way to help people heal and you can't charge them for it, well, then you've just worked yourself out of a job.
That's a wrap for this video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm about to be working on the next one right now. I'm gonna get to it right now, bro. We've been through hell with this computer, bro. And now we're back in the creative spirit, okay? Roll the credits.